Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Welcome to Women in Power today. Happy Women's Day. This is Black Woman's Day. So that I'll know who you are, so that I can talk to you and I'll know who is in the room. Come on in the room. Come on. You are welcome. You are welcome. Hello, my dear. Hello, my love. How are you today? Yes, day. This is a good day. Yes, I want to give it a moment. I always like to just give it like about 2 minutes so that people could come on into the room. I saw that a couple people wanted to join. Yes. All right. So look, who am I? Um, we will get to that in a moment because first of all, this is not about me. This is all about you. And so that's what a lot of people are like, who is this lady and why is she here today? So that we'll get to that in a moment. But what are we here to talk about? We are talking about starting over with lemons and what that means, especially during a Black History time. Some people say Black History Month, but I just like to say Black History because we don't need a month. We don't need anybody to give us a month. Black History is all the time, right? It's always going on. So who is this conversation for? This conversation for any Black woman or any Black girl that is under the sound of my voice, or that is in the live, or that is listening to the replay. I want to say to you that you are welcome. Women in Power is part of our series for how to change your stinking thinking. It is about mindset reset, and it is connected to our retreats, our workshops, and our everyday conversations that I do in our lives, in our Facebook group and our YouTube group. So, if you are not a part of the Blue Pathways YouTube group, I know that you have your phone in your hand right now. Jump on over there real quick and join our page. Okay. So, if you don't know what it is, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. It is Blue Pathways, and you can join us. So you see our logo at the top up there so that you'll know exactly that you're in the right space. Okay, so what are we talking about? So I want to say to you that so many times we have had to start over, right? And when we think about starting over, a lot of us think about starting over as a bad thing, right? But there are times when we know that we are doing something that is not, it is not good for us. And so what do? We start over, and then we feel like we feel like it's a burden on us. But I want to say to you that during the time that in my life I've had to travel to different places, this is a conversation that I've had with women as I was in Dubai, because I wanted women to know that, look, even though you have had to start over again, you have no reason to feel isolated, or you're feeling like you're misunderstood, or you're trying to figure out things on your own. And then you have not joined a community like Women in Power. But I want to say to you that, dear heart, dear sister, Black sister, queen, you don't need to be by yourself. You have a community of people that are right here with you. So as you are feeling like that, feeling alone, feeling isolated, you say something and people don't understand who you are, you're trying to fit into these boxes of being with people, and then it just feels unreal. It doesn't feel authentic to you. There's a reason why that is. That's because those are not your people. Those are not the people that you're supposed to grow with. Come and grow with us, okay? And Who am I? I am Dr. Andrea Blue. I'm the CXO and Executive Director of B&J Enterprises, where I serve youth, girls, and women of color around the world. And I use mentorship strategies with a plan of action that are connected to career, education, entrepreneurship, personal professional development, employment, and financial planning. So we know that at the same time as we want to level up, we know that there is something inside of us that we were born to do that is called our bliss. But, a lot of us only think about, our things of what we're supposed to do in life, like at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. I want to say to you that that should be a constant conversation with yourself every day. Am I where I'm supposed to be in life? And if you're not, then that means that it's time for you to make some changes and to take some choices and to take some leaps of faith, right? So, Steve Harvey, if you've ever listened to Steve Harvey, he always talks about that leap, taking that leap. And he tells his story about how he took that leap of faith to even get into the industry. And if you don't know Steve Harvey's story, he didn't start out with a great life and all those things. It took him a while. He was almost 40 years old before he really got to the point that, life began to open up the doors for him, because sometimes we have to grow into that before life will open up for us. It's almost like you have to come up to a certain level of understanding and have clarity before you can actually begin to walk into your actual calling. So I want to say to you, if you're listening to my voice and you're like, you know what, I like what this lady is saying, join our page right now where I'm talking to you. Go over to our YouTube page, because we are building up our followers on YouTube, and I have some amazing things that are coming down the pipeline. But if you're not connected to us, then you're going to miss it. And if you're not connected to us through our newsletter, go right over right now. It's just as simple as you putting in your email address on Blue Pathways Mentorship Services.com. That is our website. As soon as you go to our website, there's going to be a pop-up that is going to come up. It's going to ask you for your information, and you just put it in there right now. Now, look, I'll tell you something right now. I do not send spam. I do not share your information. I do not send weird promotions to you about anything. That's not what this is about. This is so that you will have a community of people, so that you know that you're not in this space by yourself, right? So, if you are interested and you want to know how you can continue to build with us, join. If you don't want to know how to level up and you want to continue to try to do it all by yourself, which is going to be more difficult, and you're going to have more heartaches, you're going to spend more money, then have at it. Because this is not like you have to pay any money right now. This is just saying, you know what? I am in the room, I'm listening, and I'm raising my hand, and I'm saying that, I want to be a part of this community because this feels good, it sounds good, and it's resonating with my soul. And so I want to be a part. So, as we are in Black History time, which I say Black History is all the time, as I said before, sometimes it's necessary for us to start over again with lemons. And some of us have been through abusive relationships, Black women. We've been through situations that have, in other times, would have broken us, would have caused us to, just sit down and just be like, you know what, I am over this. But there is something in us that forces us and pulls us to keep trying, try it again. We know what it is because we're standing on the backs of our ancestors, how they took something that was nothing. They were given the worst of something, and they took and they made it something of what people are paying extra money. So let's talk about chitlins. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how they took the part of the pig that was supposed to be the worst part, but our Black women and our Black men, they took that and they made it a delicacy, right? And so now people pay a lot of money for our Black people. They stand in line to get that from us because they know that we took it, and we took that ugly lemon that was beaten up, broken down, it was nothing, and we took it and we turned it into something amazing, right? And that's the same thing as our lives, because a lot of times we have been through the storm. We know what it is to be in the storm, but a lot of us don't know what it means to already live in a great space. And when we start walking into these spaces of learning how that that we've prayed for and asked for and cried over. Nobody's told us how to live in that vein, right? So we know how it is to have less, but how about we have this conversation about starting over with lemons? We've gone through the storm, we've been through the battles, we've done it all, but now here it is. What does that mean for us? It means that there is a greater responsibility for you. That thing that calls you in the middle of the night, Dr. Blue, Dr. Blue, shake you a little bit, and you are over there scribing when everybody else is sleeping, or you're over here on social media chatting with a sister that you just met, and you guys have made an authentic relationship and you have never met each other. Those things are real and they have to be nurtured. And so I want to tell you that it's so important to learn how to walk in your blessings. Don't feel like you have to let yourself down or you have to live beneath your privilege because I don't want Johnny Bob or Betty Lou to think that I'm more than I'm supposed to be. You are more. And I don't want them to be mad at me. They're going to be mad at you if you're living as a pauper, right? If you don't know what a pauper is, look it up. So I want to say to you, you don't have to live beneath your privilege. And I will tell you that as you begin to move forward into your life, there are going to be situations that you're going to be pulled into. So as I sit at the table with millionaires and billionaires, and I'm rubbing elbows with them, and we're just kikiing it up and laughing and joking. And then when I tell this story, people are like, side eyeing me like, what do you mean you're sitting at the table with billionaires and millionaires? Because that's where I prayed for to be, right? And this is not me being churchy. This is saying that my life is making room for my gift. There's something that I'm supposed to present to the world. That's why I was created. It's not just for the Gucci bags and the Prada and the red bottoms and those type of things. We want those absolutely because girl, we love to look good. If there's anything you know about black women, we love to look good. We love our nails done, our toes done, our hair done. We love all of that. We love to look good and feel good, smell good. But if you don't have anything going for you and you don't really feel good and authentic about yourself and your space, then you need to join our community. Okay. So we know that there is one thing certain in life, and that is death, right? We all have a date where we're going to, right now, we're living that date before the dash, right? And there's going to come a time when that dash is going to come, and then you're going to have people say things about you that may be true. You're going to have people say things about you that may not be true. Well, she was an amazing individual and she gave everything that she had inside of her, but only you know what you are living right now. If you know that in your heart that you are getting up every day and you're not living your best life and you're not putting your best foot forward, you know that, right? And you know the thing that in your heart that is calling you to follow your bliss, to do that thing that you were born to do and you're not doing it. I want to say to you, sis, hey, sis, listen to me. Come on, let's get it together. Join my community, and I'll tell you that I will help you to get there, right? And so, someone told me before, they was like, Dr. Blue, I know that your programs are a lot, and I know that I cannot afford it. Girl, you ain't even talked about money yet. You are already saying to yourself, you putting yourself out of it because you don't even no, we ain't, I had never brought up money, but she put herself out of it. And then when she started to have those conversations, I'm like, she's doubting herself and she's feeling like she cannot afford it or that she's not worthy enough. That's what it is. When first time you talk to somebody and they start talking about what is the cost, that's saying to me that you don't feel like you're worthy enough to be in this space. So now, before we even talk about you paying anything, I need to get your mindset focused, a little refocused, because somebody along the line somewhere told you that you're not good enough and that you don't matter. And so you're not valuable enough to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, who will invest in you, right? Every day, Black women, we get up and we're giving, giving, giving every day. But how many times has someone come to us and given to us? I'm opening up this opportunity for you to come and join. I haven't asked you for any money. I haven't asked you for anything other than for you to join this community, right? So don't knock yourself out of opportunities before you even hear the entire story, because you are worth it. You are valuable. There is meaning to your life, and there is a purpose and your passion that you should be following right now. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I want to give you a story, right? So there were times in my life when I felt like I had to start over. And I was like in those spaces of, I've given it all I've got. There's nothing else that I can give. And so there are times that I wanted to give up. And I was living beneath my privilege because I was hanging around these people, low level people with their low level thinking and their mindset that did not want to go anywhere and be anything. And I thought that that was what I was supposed to be doing. I thought that these are my people. But when I realized that they were not my people and that's not who I'm supposed to be with, no pun intended to them, no no far no I'm not trying to like knock them or anything, because they are amazing people in their own right, but they're just not my people, because there's some place that I'm trying to get to, and if I allow them to be an obstacle, or I'm trying to be by them, like them, and they're not on my level, you have to let those people go. You have to love yourself enough to say, you know what? I want a brand new beginning too. I deserve a brand new beginning. I deserve a fresh start. Why? Because I matter too. I matter too. So throughout my divorce, my heartbreak, my heartache, and people telling me that I wasn't going to be anything and not be able to level up, I knew that there it was something inside of me that I was created to do. And now that I'm following my bliss, nobody better not get in my way, right? Because I know my value and I know my worth. And so I'm saying that to you too. Know your value and know your worth. And I would encourage you that if you're not writing it down, if you have not purchased our journal and you're not using our 120 days of grateful journal, I want to say to you that you're not really giving yourself a chance. And how do you give yourself a chance? That's by saying to yourself, you know what? I am going to write this down. I am going to remember these moments of heartache so that I know that I'm better than what I was yesterday. I know that even last year, I can say that about myself. Even last year, I'm further than I was last year. But if you can't document your growth, how in the world are you going to look back at it and say that I made it over this hurdle? And how are you going to remember to tell someone else? You have to write it down. Okay? You have to write it down. So I just come stop by a little bit to disrupt your thinking and your mindset. I am the one and only disruptor. That's what I do. I disrupt negative mindsets. So I'm coming here today to tell you, you are valuable. You are amazing. If you have a little Black girl in your life, share this video with her or this message with her, because she needs to hear it too. Because the world is beating her up as she enters out the house. She's being beat up too, emotionally, sometimes physically. I was looking at the stats the other day of how many of our young girls are in abusive relationships, at these universities and colleges and they don't report it. Those numbers are high, they're huge, and they don't tell anybody until after the situation is over. And then you feel like crap because you're like, I wish you had told me. But we want to create spaces for this for them so that they know that they can share their stories. And this is safe space. So I want to say to you is meaningful and I want you to be a part of my journey. I want you to be a part of this journey so I can share your stories and put you on platforms. If you are a speaker, if you are a coach, if you are a mentor, I'm creating communities so that I can put you up. It's not about me. Everybody don't need to see me. I want to be able to create these spaces so that you can show your talents and your abilities. But how would I do that if you're not a part of it, right? So if you're saying, man, I remember when I was a speaker and I was just waiting for spaces to be a speaker. Can someone create a space for me so that I can be a speaker? That's what I do. I create that space for you, honey, so that you can say, hey, I have a story to tell. Come and be a part of our retreats. That's what I do. I put you up there. I allow you to tell your story because there's someone in the audience that needs to hear what you have. I allow you to do a breakout session or be a part of our conferences and workshops and things like that. It don't have to be me. I'll create the opportunity and allow you to walk in and be able to be a part of it. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? I don't need to be in the forefront all the time. Sometimes I want to just kick back and listen to you too. So I want to say to you again, if you haven't joined, join our community, be a part of us, and we'll continue to grow together. And I would love to meet and see your faces one day as we level up and have these retreats. So I want to put a little special note out here to you, to those of you that are looking for a retreat. Coming May, we have our upcoming mommy and daughter retreat. Okay, so if you have a little girl or you want to come by yourself, you are welcome to come as well. So you don't have to be a mommy, you don't have to have a daughter, but if you have a mom, if you are a mommy and you are a daughter or you are a mentor or a coach and you want to say, I need to be in the room, and the dates are May 25th through the 28th, and it will be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we will also have an opportunity for you to have a space at a hotel, and then we'll have a space where we will actually come together every day, right? So I want to say, come on in, come join us, be a part of us, and know that you're not by yourself. Again, this is our mommy daughter retreat. If you join our newsletter, you'll have all access to pricing and all of that. Because I know some of you are like, oh, that sounds amazing. I know you want to be there. I know you want to come, but you're like, it may be more, but you don't even know what the amount is, and you already knocking yourself out. Give yourself a chance, honey. You need a break. So again, this conversation is about starting over with lemons. This is a Black History conversation, right? And I don't say Black History Month again. This is a Black History because we are creating history for our Black and brown people, right? So much love to you all. Have an amazing day. Don't let anybody get on your nerves and know that you are more than enough. Be well.